They say memories are heavy things. They don't just fade away, they linger. Tucked behind doors we pretend to close, draped across our closets like clothing that doesn't belong to us anymore. I've lived with one such memory for 11 years. A white dress, untouched, hanging behind the coats I wore to work, to dinners, to places where people asked questions I never wanted to answer. That dress was meant for my wedding. Jordan, my fiancé, the man I thought I would spend the rest of my life with, the man who disappeared a week before the ceremony, leaving only whispers of rumors and a wound I've carried in silence. Every day I told myself I was over it, that I had moved on, but the dress remained. A silent accusation, a quiet reminder that some things can't be replaced, no matter how hard we try. And last week, I decided it was finally time to free myself, to let it go, to donate it. I didn't expect what would happen next. I pulled the dress from its hiding place, fingers trembling over the fabric, lace delicate as a whisper, faint embroidery that had taken hours to perfect. I folded it carefully, as though it were a fragile memory that could shatter if mishandled. As I drove downtown to the thrift store, Atlanta's streets blurred past me. The rain had started, thin and persistent, tapping against the windshield like a metronome counting down the last moments of my innocence. When I arrived, I handed the dress to the woman at the counter. She paused, her hands hovering over the fabric, eyes widening as though she had just seen a ghost. I smiled awkwardly and said it was mine. She shook her head, voice low. I've seen this before, years ago. I didn't understand. She didn't elaborate. I didn't press. But as I drove home, a strange unease settled into my chest. Something about her tone felt like a warning, a ripple in the quiet surface of my carefully constructed life. Later that night, the phone rang. Unknown number. My heart stopped. It shouldn't have mattered. Who would call me about an old dress? And yet I felt compelled to answer. The voice that came through was calm, steady, impossibly familiar. Jordan. My Jordan. I hadn't spoken to him in over a decade, and yet there he was, saying nothing, but letting the pause stretch long enough to make me question my sanity. I didn't scream, didn't cry, didn't even breathe. I just listened, as the words that should have been spoken that night, the ones that never came, hovered in the silence between us. By morning, the number had vanished, no trace. Just the echo in my memory, heavy and persistent, reminding me of a past I thought I had buried. Sleep didn't come. I tossed and turned, haunted not by nightmares, but by memories. Vivid, tender, painful. The day we first met, the way he laughed, how he held my hand when the world seemed too heavy. I couldn't ignore it anymore. I had to go back to the Crescent Hotel, where he had disappeared, where our wedding was supposed to be. The building was abandoned, a skeleton of its former glory. Dust and decay coated the floors, and the faint smell of mildew mixed with remnants of the floral arrangements from a decade ago. I wandered through the halls, past collapsed ceilings and shattered windows, every step echoing like a question, why am I here? And then I saw it. There, in the middle of the empty ballroom, hung a single white dress. Pristine, untouched by time or dust. The lace caught the faint moonlight streaming through a cracked window, and for a moment, I couldn't breathe. It was ours, mine and Jordan's. And yet, it wasn't mine to touch anymore. I reached out, hesitant, and ran my fingers along the delicate fabric. The weight of memory pressed down on me. I remembered the day I had folded it away, the day I had folded my heart along with it. And suddenly I realized that it hadn't been just a dress. It had been a promise, a life that could have been, a future that vanished the moment the fire started. I sat on the dusty floor, staring at it. The years of grief and guilt hit me all at once. Jordan had waited, somehow, for me, for the life we had planned. And I hadn't been there. I hadn't saved him. Time collapsed. I felt his absence as a presence, a weight on my chest that both crushed and held me. I thought I would scream to let the rage and sorrow pour out, but instead I whispered apologies, whispered regrets, whispered confessions I'd carried silently for over a decade. And then I realized the dress was not just a memory, it was a message, not from him, not from anyone alive, but from the love we shared, demanding recognition, demanding that I remember, that I feel, that I live. Hours passed like minutes. The moon shifted, light fading as the night wore on. The dress remained, white and untouchable, yet somehow alive in the way memories are alive. Fleeting, sharp, impossible to hold on to fully. I felt tears streaming, hot and bitter, but cleansing too. The emptiness I had carried for 11 years began to crack, letting in something like hope, or perhaps acknowledgement. I left the hotel before sunrise, the dress still hanging. I didn't take it with me. I didn't need to. The act of seeing it, of confronting it, had done what words never could. I drove home through the misty Atlanta streets, feeling the first light of morning settle over the city. Quiet, but resolute. Some stories, I realize, don't end with closure. They don't tie neatly. They linger, like a dress hanging behind a closet door, waiting for the next moment of reckoning. I returned home and looked in my own closet. The coats were still there, and the dress I had folded away for years was gone. And yet, I could still see it, in the corner of my eye, in the spaces between dreams. It waits. For me, for someone, for the moment we finally allow it to breathe. Some love, some loss, some memories, they are not meant to be resolved. They are meant to live in the spaces we thought were empty. And that night, I understood. I did not speak to anyone about it. I never will. But if you ever see a dress hanging alone, untouched, in the dimmest corner of a room, remember this. Some stories never truly end. They just wait. And before you leave, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to Maya's Midnight Voices. where every story finds its voice.